Okay, this video is going to be about changing out the ABC pump on a Mercedes SL500 2004, and that's the pump right there. First thing you're going to want to do is pop this off. Take this off. I usually just take both of them off, because why not? This thing has the tendency to break, so I like to take it off, especially when they're brittle and when they're older. So I am going to take that off, and then I'll put something in there to stop it. So this little thing here, you pull this pin back here, and then it should come off. And that's when I stop good with that. Just kind of pushing it in there. You can probably tell I've done that before. And then this one over here, this comes up, and this should pull right out. And I usually set this off to the side so I don't break it. Okay, now next I think we're going to tackle these Torx. I believe they're T12s. So I'm going to loosen that up while this is still on. We'll see how difficult it is. Should be able to work though. Okay, Torx E12. That loosens up these bolts. Might be a little bit tricky to get that one. We'll see. Get in there. I might have to spin the engine or spin the pump to get that last one. Okay, so the last one I just got with a hand tool. Next, we're gonna get in on the tensioner here, and there's a little trick where you'll pull it back, and we'll put a screwdriver in there to hold it in place, and that's next. Okay, next I've got a 17mm, in this case it's a deep socket, on a breaker bar. Gives you some leverage. It's on this bolt, which is actually part of the tensioner right here. So you pull out, you can kind of see it's that. So that goes on there, and you then pull this back, and that takes the tension off. Now there should be a hole that opens up underneath here where you can stick a screwdriver and hold it in place. Okay, so I've got just happen to have a Torx that I stuck in there, but anything can really fit in there. And I can share with you later what size Torx it is. So just so you can see, it looks like this. Hopefully you can see that, because I really can't see it. But that's what it looks like when you have it in position there. Okay, so now that the belt tension is relieved, we can take these screws off the face of this, of the pump, and we'll put those right here. Now, this comes off. Should just take the belt off. I'm kind of being lame here. belt off. Here's the pump pulley. So I'll have to kind of work it. Pump pulleys off. Now we can get at this E12, and I think I said T12 earlier, so it's that one, and then this one right here. Let's see if I can show you from here. So that one right there. And let's see, where's the other one at? And that one right there. Okay, then I got the second one. Oh, it's off camera right here. I took that one off. I'm gonna take the belt off so I don't get oil all over it. And that's pretty simple. You'll definitely want to take a video of the way your belts are laid out, because it's definitely not obvious when you're putting this back together. Next, I'm going to use these hose pinchers, and that's to try to minimize the amount of ABC Pentosan fluid from coming out. Yeah, because this reservoir here is just filled with that. So strategically, what's the best way to do this? This all has to come out to give us enough room to work down there. Yeah, so we'll pull these lines off, hold them up. It's gonna get messy, so I actually put underneath a catch pan underneath the car. It's gonna get messy. Okay, I pulled the hose clamps back. Now, this pump has already been replaced. Breaking those loose initially was a pain. This is probably gonna be a lot easier. Okay, I pulled them off, set them into the side here. They were way easier to get off because they'd just been off. Before I used to have to put a wrench on it and kind of break them free. Next, we're gonna take these parts off here. We'll undo this, slide this off. Then there's a bolt right there, and there's a bolt right there. Those come off, and then we'll have to figure out how to take this off. And there's also bolts right here. So this one and this one, and this all kind of works itself loose. Okay, so I pulled this out, and I think honestly the best strategy is I would just put a catch down below and just try to control dump any of this, any of the fluid. Just let it dump into something below. It's too difficult to try to save any of it. That and my, this one you can actually see is kind of dirty. That one's clean. That's probably the power steering. That's probably the ABC side. Anyway, so this is what it looks like when you've removed this. Another thing, there's this hose will also need to be loosened, and it's like tucked behind. So have a Phillips head screwdriver ready to undo that as you're pulling it apart. It makes it easier. I'm gonna get this a little bit cleaned up, and then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this bolt off here, which I believe is a 19 millimeter, and then we'll attack the banjos, and then we'll go back there and get the rear bolt. Okay, we're all cleaned up. Next thing, we'll probably want to pull that off. And I will probably snip this and just put it out of the way. Okay, and then next, we'll take this guy off, and then we'll attack this line right here. Okay, that one was actually an E10. Next is this line. It's a 17. Actually, this is one of the ones where it starts getting tight. That one broke loose. When I first did this, these lines were a lot more difficult to get off. Okay, so I will work on getting that one loose. Okay, then this line comes out. And we'll set that to the side as well. Doesn't make a mess. Like so. And next, we're going to tackle these bolts, this bolt, that ground, and then these banjo bolts are a pain in the butt. Supposedly they're different. We'll take a look at them. I didn't notice that they were different, but I did definitely put them back the way they originally were. Okay, this one is actually an E10. And the one next to it is probably also an E10. And we'll get this ground kind of out of the way. Yeah, now it's the fun part. The two banjo bolts, I believe they're 19s. And this one is just, it's just so slow going on these. Yeah, break those loose and loosen those up. Okay, that banjo bolt is out, and it looks like this. And I remember I could tell the difference because this one was a little bit worked when I first took it out. That wasn't me. So probably not the first time an ABC pump was done on this car. Next I'm going to tackle the back one, and that one is just, it's so difficult to get in there. Luckily, this is the second time I've done this job. Well, it's kind of unlucky, but I could get this one out by finger the first time, like once it was broken loose, which made it a heck of a lot easier. But the first time through, it was a long time. It took a lot of time to get it out. Okay, the second banjo bolt is out. And what really helped, I have this this little socket wrench. It's 19 millimeters. It just got in there. So this pulsation damper here should be able to come right out. Let's see. This is like one of those. Yeah, let's go work with one hand. Yay. There it goes. That is it. So there's one more bolt, and it's behind this bracket. It's right behind this bracket, and it should be an E12. So I'll verify that. That one's also kind of difficult to get to, but that's it. That's all it's holding this on. And also, just to note, when you start twisting and bending, when you put this back together, it's something you might actually have to bend that back because it could get bent. Okay, I'm gonna get a wrench on that one. I mean, I'm in here. I might as well see if I can get a good shot of it here. Maybe I can't. Yeah, should be able to see that right there. That's what I'm going for. Okay, and when you got that bolt out, the whole thing just drops. Here's that last bolt. And this thing should be able to come right up through this area. And that's it. It comes right up through here, and that's it. And that's what it looks like underneath there. No crazy 13mm bolt, at least on this model. All right, now I'm waiting for the pump to come in. I sent the original one out to get refurbed, and I'll tell you how it goes. Actually, now that I got this pump out, I also have to take this electronic component off because it did not come with, that one went with my original. This pump came from where you would get in the zone. I will not say anything past that. It was made by these guys, and yeah, it's getting returned because it doesn't work right. And this is what it looks like when you pull this guy out. Let's see if I can do this. It's hard to do things one-handed, that's for sure. I'm gonna kind of wiggle it. That is what it looks like inside. Is there a part number on there? Looks like there's a date 12/11/09, so this probably did get changed out in 09 or 10. Okay, so I got my ABC pump back from being refurbished, and somebody had actually said that the banjo bolts are different, and they actually are. So apparently the rear one has this mesh screen on it, and you're supposed to clean it out. So, and actually somebody online said they actually poked a hole through theirs. This is the one that goes on the back side. The one that goes on the front side, if you look on the inside, there is no screen on it. So just wanted to point that out as this is kind of coming back together. I also moved this from the old pump over here to this pump over here. So yeah, it looks like I actually had the banjo bolts on in the right configuration. So yeah. Okay, this pump goes on. These are the two front bolts. They're longer. They're all E12s, and then this is the one that goes on the back. The last one to go in. And my strategy is going to be to get this back one on first, and we'll see how it goes. I think it's easier to do it that way. Also, I won't put the pulley on until after I get these two front bolts. The pulley gets in the way of putting these on. Okay, I started the back one first by finger, and then I'll start getting these guys on the front here. So, okay, so we've got the two on the front here started by finger. I will do the rear one. Gotta do it by hand, it's tight back there. And just to show the wrench, this is what I'm using. It's kind of have a little, just a mini extension, a 1/2 inch extension to get back here. And it's a pain. It's not easy, that's for sure. Anyway, yeah, you need 2 hands for this. Okay, rear bolt is now torqued down, and now it's time to put this guy, and this guy goes in this configuration. It's stuck in here, and this is really hard to do this one-handed. But it goes in like that. And I'm gonna need 2 hands. Yeah, okay, this is that part of the project where you end up dropping one of the screws down in and have to go find it. But yeah, got this guy on. The 2 banjos are on. I got this one in the back. It's finger tight. And then this one down here still needs to get tightened up. Yeah, okay, so for the banjo fitting in the back, use the 19mm, got it in there, and really cranked on it. And then all I gotta do now is simply tighten this bolt up, put the ground wire back on, tighten that up, and then we'll get to this line here, putting that back on. Okay, and I just use a socket with an extension on that. Next, we'll get this line back in. Here, it goes inside here. Okay, yeah, so I got both of these on, and it's always a good idea to just put them on loose. This fitting kind of moves in and out on here, so definitely leave them loose and then tighten them up in the end when everything's aligned. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting yourself. Alright, next is putting this line back on. This is where I clipped. That goes back on there, and then I'll put another zip tie right there. And then I'll kind of clean this up a little bit, and then we'll put the reservoirs back in with these lines that are kind of stuck over here. But yeah, that's almost self-explanatory. So yeah, so get these in, connect there, wipe things down, get the belt on, and almost done. One thing you can actually do is grab a digital caliper and find the one that's the widest. So I found this is the widest. You can then bring it in here and measure this, and the one I have orientated here is the widest. So that should make it a hell of a lot easier. Okay, I got the pulley back on. I'm using my large, gigantic screwdriver here to hold this in place while I torque these bolts down. I believe they're 25 foot-pounds, but don't quote me on that. Okay, I got the belt back on. It's still, I still need to take my screwdriver out and tension it. So I will attempt to do that. Right now, let's see if I can get that on camera here. $17mm. Boom, done. Okay, and then I take my little line off here and put the original line in, which is pretty trivial. And then I will fill up the reservoir here and here with more expensive ass fluid. The last time I did this, I actually had to pressurize. I had to pressurize this through here. You're not supposed to go over 15 psi, and that should help prime the system. And I'll let you guys know how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna turn the car on. And if this pressure doesn't come up immediately, I'm monitoring the ABC pressure, I will pressurize the canister, make this little adapter here that you can put on so you can actually pressurize this. You can't see how it goes. So let's see the pressure. Stick back in. See what we're doing. 192, 193, that's good. That sounds good too. Alright, other than that, I'm just going to put these other two front air intake hoses on and the rest of the cowl, and that's it. Okay. So car works really well after the ABC pump was changed. What I was seeing before, it was really weird. The former pump that was in there that was refurbished, it would start out at a good enough pressure, but as you let the car idle, it would come down from 190 all the way down to sub 150, and then the ABC alarm would happen. This pump does not do that. And super happy with it so far. I had my pump refurbished at Invasion Auto Products. They're out of North Hollywood. I had originally purchased a refurb one from them. Then they called me and said they didn't have any cores, so I thought that was going to mean it was going to take a lot of time, but it didn't. I shipped it to them. It got there in a day. I'm in San Diego, so not too far away. They turned it around in a day, and I got it, so I shipped it off Wednesday, I got it back Friday. So pretty awesome. Happy with the service so far. So far so good. And yeah, I would, at this point, in terms of the service, I would recommend them. I noticed their Google reviews weren't all that great, but you know, so far from my end, I'm one data point. They look pretty good to me. So anyway, yeah, that was you know, that's the ABC pump. Yeah, if you liked the video, hit like, and yeah, awesome. Have a good day.